Hello, I am the 10th Umbral Calamity, but you may call me Carbuncle. I have been summoned because I heard you guys can't even meet the DPS check. Yeah, I checked the logs. It's bad. To get good, consider pressing the red subscription button. Or not, and just let your DPS suffer. Hey, you might be good enough to beat this fellow. Barely. Okay, I'm done lecturing. Get back to watching these scrubs talk about stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't. Alright, so we're recording. We're back.
Alright.
We're back with
We at
another
it
video. Yeah.
Trying to check y'all DPS.
Yeah, while it's Christmas, man.
What? Christmas? Oh yeah. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, man. You
And
still gotta do DPS.
Well, yeah.
You
What
better
talking
eat that turkey like you're about to wipe, okay?
I mean, that's if you have a turkey. I don't know what y'all people eat on
yeah.
Christmas.
Ham, yams, green,
Only thing I eat
tomatoes,
is purple parsnips. That's what I
parses.
eat. For Christmas.
I eat oranges.
Oh.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. Okay. All right. Zero linked me something. We're gonna watch it. I don't know what this is.
Alright.
What the fuck is this?
She's breastfeeding a cat.
No, sir, breastfeeding is allowed.
You can hear it?
Here on
Yeah.
this airline. We do allow this is not.
What the fuck?
But it's a cat.
It's a cat.
It's not a child. It's not a baby. It's a cat.
Wait, oh yeah.
She's breastfeeding a cat on the
I
plane.
mean, he seems to think it's a cat.
A cat.
Yeah, that's her baby.
No, it's. I saw it before. It's a cat.
Sir, can you put your
It's
mask
like
on?
she's breastfeeding.
How?
Breastfeeding a cat.
Obviously not
So-
breastfeeding a cat on a plane.
We
Yeah,
are-
like,
we
can you
are
put your
the
mask
baby
on?
who has
Yeah.
the baby
She didn't even have her
Did
mask
you
on.
see the baby?
Bitch, what you doing?
Because it's a cat under
The
there.
baby was sleeping, right? She walked in.
It's a cat.
Do you have a cat?
No, I do not own a cat. Let alone
She's
have one
breastfeeding
right
a cat. It's
What are you
disgusting.
Did you
If it's a baby, I wouldn't say anything. That's totally fine. But it's a cat. It's just.
Yeah, I did saw the cat
now.
too.
Sure, it'll last longer. Than me.
No, I thought I saw a cat too.
You saw a cat?
No, there is no
I
such
did.
thing.
I
Right
did.
now,
I
are you
saw-
feeling stuffy?
No,
there
it's
is not
a
cat.
weird.
Wait.
It's making me
There's not
super
cat.
uncomfortable.
This man's allergic to cats, and he feels fine.
Wow. Wait. What?
Onto the flight with a cat.
Yes, there you go.
I'm allergic to cats too.
Stay calm. Everything's all right.
I saw a cat.
Thank you, ma'am.
What? No, you didn't.
Can I get a different seat?
Excuse me.
That's so weird. What?
Can you just show us the baby?
No, I'm in the middle of something.
Ooh. Wait. Oh my God. It's a cat.
2021.
I hope you're ready to censor this, my boy.
I have to censor it?
Because it's a cat.
Might have to censor this.
Feline.
Really?
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Did you want to take a photo?
They put this on YouTube?
If I don't even know.
No, I don't take
Are you
photos of
serious?
women.
Yeah, because breastfeeding is fine.
It's fine.
such a violation.
Breastfeeding is fine on you too, because it's all natural.
Such a violation of my privacy right now.
You know, it's just a
But
blanket.
it's just a blanket.
It's just her baby.
It's my
No, it's-
what
there's
I'm
a
doing right now
cat
is
in there.
nobody's
Ma'am, could you
business
just-
but mine.
Can
You
you just
need to step off.
can
All
you just
of you
take
need
the
to sit
blanket
down.
off and show us that
Why
you
are
have
you
a
guys
baby?
not defending me and my privacy and instead
Oh.
asking me
Oh.
over and over whether or not this is a
Ma'am.
cat? It's not a cat. I said it's not a cat.
It's
I
a
said
cat.
it's not a cat.
It is
I
a
don't have to
cat.
show you my
Can you put
baby.
your
I
mask
boarded
back
the
on?
plane.
It's-
Breastfeeding a cat.
Yep,
You know,
That-
sit down.
weird and uncomfortable. I'm
Everyone get out of my
100%
face
sure.
right
I
now.
Is this a joke?
saw the cat.
Like
I'm a very,
I miss things a lot.
very understanding person, but that is crossing a line.
It's all right. It's all right.
Ow.
Thank you.
Boy.
Thank you so much.
Ma'am, could you
It's
just
the dander. He's got
He's
dander.
got
Just
a dander.
weird, and
Maybe
I
it's
just
on
don't want to
dander.
be sitting
Maybe
next
a
to
little
someone
head and shoulders over there.
breastfeeding a cat. It is a 5-hour flight.
what?
It's disgusting. It is
What?
so weird.
I don't have a cat. You
It
have
is
a
a
hole.
cat.
Why are you at work?
Could you show us?
Yeah, just show us the cat baby.
I really don't know what to do.
Show us the little kitty.
You want to see?
It
Ma'am,
cannot
can you
be
just,
a cat.
like,
If you want to invade my privacy and do it yourself, you can take that liability.
oh my gosh.
You want to take on
Just-
that
come on,
liability?
just-
You want to take the liability
just
of
take
doing this right now?
Well, do
Please.
you have a cat
I
or do
would
you have a
love it.
baby?
I don't
Do you
have a cat.
Or you have a
I
baby?
do not have a cat.
Can I
This is my
remove the
baby.
blanket?
If you would like to take that liability of touching me and violating my privacy,
May I
you
remove
do
the
it.
blanket? May I remove the blanket?
I'm not saying
You
yes.
don't do it, I'm gonna do it.
I'm not saying no.
Oh my
You're not
God.
doing anything. I would like somebody. You're filming this, right?
Yeah.
Great.
We're gonna check over.
Great. Just know that you're being filmed doing this, and this is
Maybe
very
you
well a
should
HIPAA violation.
Should I do
It's
it?
not allowed on the plane.
Like,
You can't
You can't
breastfeed a
cat
cat.
on the plane.
yeah.
Plane or not.
Like, I don't care if like, oh, I brought in a cat, but if she actually breastfeeding a cat,
Holding my baby.
Please, I'm asking you.
that's not a baby, man.
Show me that you have a baby.
Go ahead, take the blanket off if you're that sure. He's
Wow.
filming you do this, by the way.
Yes, you gave him permission. He will take
I
the
never gave him
blanket off.
permission.
You said go ahead and take the blanket off. So
It's a cat. It is a cat.
Wow! This woman, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
It's a
Oh.
lynx. It's a lynx.
it's not. It's
What?
lynx.
Are you serious?
Sit back down, ma'am. You need to sit back down. You need to sit back down.
What? Are you serious?
Get away. Yeah, like, can we just? Can we just? Is
Why?
it a real cat? Is
It is just a real cat. I don't know a real cat.
She says a lynx.
A lynx, I think, is much larger than that.
Oh my goodness. It's almost done. Keep playing.
What is it?
It's an emergency service emotional support animal.
Shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for that
Yeah,
language.
that's
I'm
allowed.
sorry for my language.
Oh wow.
NFTs, greedy companies.
Oh god, you saw the eyes. Oh shit. Yeah.
Let's wait.
You gotta go back.
Okay.
Oh, shit. He's looking for the lasagna, man. He's looking for the lasagna. That's all it is. He's looking for the lasagna.
Oh my god. There's no way a cat would be that peaceful while all these people yelling around
That's what
him.
I'm saying. I was thinking that maybe she like drugged the cat, right? I mean, it looked pretty drugged, but like usually that's what you do.
Hey, damn, what you got in that breast milk, woman? Look at that cat's eye. You look delusional.
God, dog.
Oh man.
I cannot.
The jaws hurt, bro. Smile is so hard.
Oh, you ain't shit, man. I tell you.
I have to show you that video.
I fucking hate you. Man, you ugly for that. You know that? You ugly.
This video, somebody had edited it, and I didn't know the title of the video, so I was sitting there just like, why are they over here harping this woman about her fucking baby? And like this dude's randomly accusing her of breastfeeding a cat. Like what? And then it actually ends up being a cat. I'm just like, what the fuck? It's just like, you see the eyes. I'm just like, oh, when she picked up the cat, it was just not moving.
Yeah.
I was just like, is it alive? It's not moving.
It was like twists and turns too.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
So good.
She did that on purpose. She's an
So
asshole
good.
for that.
God damn.
She's an asshole for that. Well, y'all see it here.
Oh man.
Don't breastfeed your child fake cat in airplanes. Okay.
What's a real cat?
That's a real cat. That's not a real cat.
Yeah, that's a real
You
cat.
see how flat his ass is?
Look into his eyes and tell me that ain't real.
You fucking
I mean,
ugly.
that basement must be wild, boy. Shit. Straight Cambodian? Like, what the fuck?
That's not a real cat.
Oh my god.
If it was a service animal, then she would have needed to show papers are allowed on the plane, and she wouldn't really have a reason to hide it after.
Oh my god.
I don't take photos of women feeding. It's weird. Yes, it is.
It's weird. Yes. Confirmed.
Oh god.
Alright. The next video, let's keep it rolling.
Oh, you got another video for me?
I had to show you that. Wait, did we have another video? Didn't you have some videos that you wanted to?
Yeah, I do. I do have a video. I thought you had a video, so I was like, oh, okay.
I got nothing else, man. I'm out.
All right. So.
The Dangote Group stands
Wait,
at the
what?
forefront of African
No.
Is this an ad?
Why is this ad here? Stop this ad.
Yeah.
Why South Africa?
Hello.
Billions of dollars in COVID-related funding stolen. As of this morning, the U.S. Secret Service is running more than 900 active investigations as the federal government aims to crack down on an explosion of scams related to federal and state COVID-19 programs. Already, more than $1 billion has been seized, but there is still more to find. The agency naming Special Agent Roy Dotson as the first National Pandemic Fraud Recovery Coordinator, and he joins me now. Good to have you with us this morning. I have to say, a lot of people may see this, and I'm guessing there are two thoughts out there. Number one, the Secret Service does this, and number two, that is a lot of money. Where are you focusing these efforts? I mean, just how bad are these scams?
Well, to date, good morning. To date, the Secret Service has seen enormous fraud related to unemployment and SBA loans. We have seized, as you said, over $1.2 billion and returned over 2.3 via ACH returns. We just, continue to see an untick of that. Criminal individuals are opportunistic. So when the federal funding from the CARES Act was released, they obviously pivoted to that and began targeting those programs.
One expert told CNN this was like the Super Bowl and the World Series rolled into one for scammers and hackers. What is it about this funding or the release of these funds that made it seem like such a ripe opportunity? Was it that they could go, you mentioned unemployment, is it that they could sort of go after those funds as individuals or try to go after individuals?
Well, I think the availability to file online applications made it ease of use. And then the use of individuals, there is numerous identity theft victims that are involved in these cases. It's just, the primary thing that we saw was that individuals and criminal organizations could readily file these online applications and receive these benefits rather quickly.
Okay, so that's pretty much oh fuck. Damn it. Stop it. Stop auto-playing. Exit out of that. Oh fuck that thing. I'm gonna put it there. She's breastfeeding. I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay, but anyways, so that video was describing a whole bunch of claims of people getting scammed or fraud from from other people that say that, oh hey, we have another refund check coming in. You have to pay for it in order to get it. Blase blase, or some type of fraud. Even at work, I've been experiencing computers are getting hacked and all that because of these type of frauds.
Wait, so somebody tells somebody else that I'm just trying to get my facts right. They say, hey, we're giving out more refund checks, but you have to pay for it? and people bought into that.
That's one example. Yes, that's just one example. There's a lot of type of frauds. There's really, really dumb frauds out there that that usually it's the elder or the very, very young see them and say like, oh
yeah, of course, yeah,
you know, and they give them the money. You know what I'm saying? It's really tough. And these type of frauds skyrocketed ever since COVID hit. Like, but 1.2 billion, man. That is fucking insane.
Yeah, that's a lot.
My God. That's all I really want to like really say about that. Like, that's a warning, I guess, for anybody out there thinking that, you know, it's a refund check or some shit like that. Like,
no, you ain't getting nothing, bro.
Do your research.
You ain't getting nothing.
I mean, like, there might be a refund check, but not. I don't think anymore. But like, just do your research before like paying for anything.
No refunds. Hold that L.
Right. And another little thing is that, so you heard about Teslas, right?
I know what Tesla is, yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody knows Teslas, but I'm still going to say what is a Tesla. So Tesla is a company that usually create these create cars that are assistant vehicles. I can't say that they're fully automated vehicles, but they're supposed to assist you while driving. It's a very good assistance. But it's been in the news and saying that, like, you know, people just sleep in the car and shit.
I mean, they've already warned people about that type of stuff.
Yeah, they did. Now, you can now play games while driving in a Tesla.
Oh my God!
So some people find out you play games in a Tesla through their actual screen, the screen of the car. You just play games while the Tesla just drives. So apparently,
I remember there being a thing back in the days where I think there was a person who was a test driver, and they was just like, I don't know, on their phone or something, and while the car was driving, and then the car just hit a woman.
Oh,
it was like an old woman or somebody was crossing the street and it just hit them. And it's just like, you're like, yeah, the car auto drives for you, right? But it's like, you still need to keep your eyes on the road.
Right.
It's kind of silly that people think like, oh, it's automatic vehicle, so I'm just gonna let it run and I'm gonna sit over here and bake some chicken. Like, what? No.
He's a bake some chicken. Actually, you know KFC is coming up with a console. You plug the console in the Tesla screen, and then you cook the chicken with it, right? And then you eat the chicken, maybe with a little bit of honey on it too. But I just tried that. That is really good. And then you can play the game while you're driving to work.
Honey,
chicken.
Chicken, no.
Oh God! But that it's a recipe for disaster.
Oh yeah, it's a recipe for disaster. All right. KFC chicken.
God, dog.
A recipe for disaster. Put that on a shirt.
Put that on the shirt. Oh shit. And we have like Colonel Sanders on there too. That'd be nice. Well, no, we can't use that because.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, we'll use the black Colonel Sanders.
Yeah. We not trying to get attacked by the NFT gods. You know, somebody owns the picture of Colonel Sanders. You know.
You know what? How about we use Uncle Ben? They took Uncle Ben off.
Man. Yo, he said Uncle Ben. I was just like, Spider-Man?
No, not Spider-Man. No, I can see that, but like Uncle Ben, like
a chicken in his hand, be like, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah, he's pouring that honey over the chicken now.
Oh God, Uncle Ben. No, you gotta be responsible about your chicken.
Yeah,
I mean the honey is fine, but the chicken.
Where the honey would go then?
Oh.
I don't know. But yeah, so that was fucking like crazy. And it also said that Tesla like allowed it, and Mercedes did a recall of the cars. It was just like really dumb to me to see that. So I just wanted to talk about it.
So it was real. Tesla did make some cars that
it wasn't intentional.
Oh, it wasn't intentional.
No, it wasn't intentional. So, I think they allowed it as in like it's past the screening or some shit, and they say okay, the actual vehicle runs good, it's okay. Let's just send the cars out. Anyway, it's just kind of hard to make cars now with like silicon shortage and whatnot.
Yes, making vehicles is difficult.
Okay, all right. So I mean, that's all I want to do. So now, I guess we can talk about Endwalker spoilers.
No Endwalker spoilers. All right.
Spoilers. Merry Christmas. This is our present. This is your present. No, this is our present to you. Our present to you.
All right. What? Spoiler warning. Spoiler. Put it on there. Whoop whoop. Get out of here. Spoilers.
Oh
Do you not beat the game? Have you not beaten Endwalker? Do you not even know what Final Fantasy is? Get the hell out of here. Spoiler warning. All right.
But if you don't care, stay tuned.
I mean, yeah, if you don't care, come on.
All right. So, Endwalker. What should we start with next? Should we just start with, like each zone?
Yeah, I mean, we already know about the logging in situation and what that was like.
Yeah, unable to obtain character data and whatnot. Yeah, that's. It's funny how it just switched to that too.
Yeah, yeah. The queues were much worse. They've gotten better though.
Yeah, they did. They did gotten better. But yeah. So.
Starting off by going to Charlian.
Yeah. We started, but we're going to the old Charlian. So the view of it, like the actual like art of it, is amazing. I love that. Is he a guy or a woman that pouring the water?
It's a guy. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's one of the gods. One of the 12 gods or whatever.
Right. Okay. Yeah. That is cool. Like the art of that and the water flowing down. You feel so alive there. Like of course, Soken with the music, he blessed us.
Papa bless.
Yeah. And story there. So we went over there to talk to.
You don't gotta like tell the whole story.
Oh, okay, no. But I was saying like why did we went there? You know?
Yeah. I just want to go over the parts that you found like interesting and the parts that you didn't like.
Okay, so
starting from the top. Us going to Charlian.
Us going to Charlian. What I really liked in that story there was going inside the library and reading the lore. You're actually reading the lore of the past Charlian. That was pretty cool. I like that a lot.
This is when they decided to introduce us to a new mechanic that they have figured out, which is the follow mechanic, which we will be seeing a lot of from that point forward.
But I didn't really understand why they did that though. Like, they did have the follow mechanic, but you have to go through step A, step B, step C. Maybe they just, squished it, I guess. You no longer have to do that. You can go straight from A to Z. They should put that in like a lot of story in the beginning of Final Fantasy. But yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was interesting and to begin with, but later on it just gets to a point where it's like, okay, I guess, but it makes you have to take your time. Like, you can't just get on your mount and just fucking fly there, because you have to. The other person can't keep up with you, so then you have to go back and pick them up again.
Oh yeah, you can't even you can't even like teleport like through different aetherites. You have to walk.
Yeah, you have to walk.
But if you run, they run with you. So that's cool too.
I mean, they could sprint at least.
Yeah, they can also swim.
Anything past? Oh, can they?
Yeah, they can swim.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Figure that out.
They jumped in the water and said, "Hey, my programming, I can swim." So.
Yes, my programming.
Anything else in Charlene?
Oh God. I'm trying to think. Was there anything else? I mean, I think that's where the story kind of picked up, because it's like we knew that Charlene was really hiding something, but we just didn't really know what it was.
Right.
And there was I think that's when we went to the next area after that.
Yeah,
which was
it splits. It splits in two though.
Oh right. You have two different paths that you can go to because the team splits up.
Right.
And I love the path with Thancred in them.
Oh, Thavnir.
That shit was hilarious.
Yeah. So in order to go to Thavnir, which is very far away, you need to teleport over there just to make things quicker. And Charlene had like a experimental way where you can go there without using any ether.
Yeah.
And when you go over there, she was saying, yeah, everything be fine. And then you were just about to teleport. She didn't say like, oh yeah, I forgot, you'll get summoning sickness too.
Summoning sickness.
Yeah,
silly.
It was so funny. But when it actually happened to you, right? When you teleport to Thavnir, you actually become sick. They put heavy on you and shit. I'm like, what? Really?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a paralysis too. So it's like you move slow, and then every couple of seconds it'll be like, I can't move because you're sick. It was really funny.
I kind of like that. I like them doing things like that, right? Even though it is annoying, but it's if no one ever played like Dungeons and Dragons before, and you want to like go into like acting out your character, what they're doing, it feels like that. I got the same feeling. So Thavnir. So we can just start talking about Thavnir. What do you like in Thavnir? I guess in terms of story and that.
That area, honestly, I didn't think I was gonna like it too much. And the start of it was kind of slow for me. It wasn't until like the return where things kind of picked up for me. But yeah, the first part, you kind of just getting to know each other. But then you had the storyline with Homegirl, who made the items.
Made the scales.
the talismans. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really good. I grew to like that girl, and then so the first dungeon, right?
Okay.
So
before the first dungeon, right?
Before the first dungeon. Okay, go ahead.
I fucking hated what happened to start that dungeon.
Right.
I hate what happened to start that dungeon. You start walking with the girl you mentioned, right? The alchemist.
Mm-hmm.
To test out the talisman. And I'm like, okay, I guess that's fine. But how come we couldn't pick anyone else? Why I have to be you? You know?
Right.
It seems like something approaching, something going to happen, and it looked like something going to happen because she's rushing just to get captured. It looks like she rushing to the door while the warrior of light is super far away. She don't think I'm about to reach this big monolith, black and shit, where all my people is trapped.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna sit next to the warrior of light. Come on.
It's what did you think was gonna happen? You're just gonna walk in there and save everybody yourself? No.
I mean, the whole point of it, the whole point of that was to test out the talisman. That was the whole entire point. And I felt like once you stood by that door, you test out the talisman. It's all right, I'm ready to go. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's dip. Hey, let me dip real quick. But no, she stood there waiting to get captured, and our dumbass self just look at them. God.
Just stared. She got captured.
I didn't expect that.
One thing I would say about the dungeons is all the dungeons feel really meaningful and really important. All there's not a single dungeon where I was just well, that felt kind of eh.
No, yeah, they're pretty nice.
All the dungeons feel really good and really important. I don't feel like there was ever a filler dungeon, oh well, we gotta have a level 72 dungeon, so yeah, here's a level 72 dungeon.
Mm-hmm. No,
it's that first dungeon,
Tower of Zot.
Yeah, and they gave you the lore about the sisters already.
Yeah.
So it's you should have seen that, kind of coming.
Yeah. I did kind of see it coming. It's oh wait, if these are full of the elephant people, then would it be their god with the three sisters? So I thought that was really nice to do. So there's that.
That final fight was pretty amazing. Not gonna lie, I did it with some randoms, and they had a hard time. They had a hard time.
Yeah, you did everything as a paladin, or
yeah, I did everything as a paladin.
Okay, I did everything as a monk.
And they just didn't understand that they had to kill them at the same time. So they were just sort of knocking out one and then go and fight the final boss. Yeah, the final boss.
You have to kill them all in the same time?
Yeah.
We didn't do that.
Did you do the trust system?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
you did the trust system.
No, I didn't. You had to kill all three of them at the same time, or they'll resurrect.
Really?
Yeah. Whenever they do the Delta attack, whoever is down, they'll resurrect them.
Oh.
So you have to kill them all before they do the Delta attack.
We killed them one by one, no problem.
Well, I mean, I think that's because you probably went with people who played the game before and knew
it was random.
Really?
Yeah, I did it with randoms. The first, I think either the first day or the second day it came out in early access.
Well, you got a better group than I did, because my group just did not understand and it's like I'm a tank, right? Like I can't really DPS fast enough to explain to people what they're supposed to be doing. Yeah, they had a hard time with that.
God, dog. I mean, I guess now I know. I guess it was we just hit it so hard.
Don't say it like that.
Why not?
Oh, good.
Why not?
It hit it so hard, huh?
Yeah. You know what I mean? I guess
I know
if you got it, we got it, you know?
Well, yeah, I guess y'all had it. But my squad did not have it.
Alright, so I guess we're kind of done with Thavnir.
And then, yeah, you had... God, what were those people called? The people with the backpacks?
Oh, the collectors or something like that? They pretty much collect everything across the world and bring them to Charlian. Old Charlian.
Yeah. Those people? Well, that guy specifically. The first bunny boy main
Black
character
bunny
that they
boy,
show
hold
you.
on.
Black bunny boy at
Let's
that.
represent.
Yeah, he was actually likable.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was not really sure because I'm like, oh man, let me not get attached to anybody because like this guy might be a bad guy, and I don't want to be like, oh, I like this guy, and then he turns out he betrays us or some shit like that. So I didn't want to get attached to him, but yeah, I liked him.
His voice acting is pretty nice too.
Yeah, his voice acting pretty good. I mean, if you were listening on English, you have certain people who listen in Japanese.
True. Yeah, we're talking about Labyrinthos, which is the second. Well, it could be either the first or the second area. It splits in two paths, right?
Right.
But we're talking about Labyrinthos, and I like the lore around Labyrinthos because they kind of tell you that in the beginning, like this is like a fake. Labyrinthos is a fake area where they do a lot of experiments where the collectors take different types of like beasts, put them in here to test them or whatnot, right? Or other people to test them. Now, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't. Like, I've seen the monsters on there, right? And I'm thinking about like, you telling me collectors brought them in here and no one knows about it? Like these big ass monsters. Like, how did he? Because they take them on a boat. You know, it's like maybe they like put them in like capsules or some shit. You know, like throw a Pokeball, and so no one can see it, right?
Throw a Pokeball, yeah.
Because the thing is, the whole entire point of these collectors, like the forum, the big guys of Old Charlian, told them to like expedite this process of collecting everything in the world, and so they were going in and out, in and out, in and out, and no one saw them do this. You know, like not even the people of Old Charlian knows about this, and it's like, really, no one knew. You're that oblivious. But like, okay, but they're like, yeah, there's that. And you stop halfway through, and what I really like about this whole entire thing is when Stola turned us into a frog. I wasn't expecting that shit. I was like, oh, we're all frogs now. That's great. That's great.
You're all frogs now.
So you can stay hidden. But what's your favorite part in there?
In that area, I was really kind of concerned for Krill at a certain point.
Oh yeah, I was.
Because I was just like you could tell something was wrong with her, but I couldn't tell what it was. And I was just like, oh, don't let something happen to Krill. I'll be upset. But I mean, yeah, you feel that way about everybody. But yeah, I was just like, oh shit, something's gonna happen with Krill. Oh, and the flower, the Olympus flower.
Elpis.
Elpis?
It's Elpis.
Yeah.
Olympus.
Okay, Olympus. Oh, okay. Yeah, the Elpis flower. That's when they first show you that flower, and it feels like kind of just like a side plot thing, but it kind of holds meaning later on, as you'll find out. But yeah, that was about it. And you stop about halfway through, and then we go to the third area. Which I thought for sure this area is going to be my favorite area.
Yeah.
As far as the story, I think it's my second favorite part of the whole story.
Garlean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Garlemald?
Garlemald, yeah, Garlemald.
That whole, and this is the first area where like you complete the whole area, and it's not like you can get your flying.
Yeah.
This is like the first one where you can actually get your flying and you fly through the whole area. The other ones is kind of locked off, and you'll have to go back to them later after you progress.
But yeah, like Garlemald, like that whole entire place is a mood. Like,
yeah, so when we first get there and you had to do the whole raid or whatever with the group, and there was a point where you played as Thancred. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. Like that part, especially in Thancred. I think he went into some type of Garlemald place where everybody was tempered and stuff, and he had I don't know why, but by him he wanted to do it himself, going in that that area by himself and destroy all like information, destroy Magitech and all that. And I felt like I was playing a fucking Snake Eater or some shit, like Metal Gear Solid. I really felt that. Like, they've been playing a lot of Metal Gear Solid. Even like
somebody had to been playing Metal Gear Solid, cause fuck.
Like, even like the nameplates of a show's Thancred and like what he's saying or whatnot. Like that nameplate itself is so Metal Gear Solid like, but also kind of reminds me of Dynasty Warriors. Because even before that Thancred RP mission, you had to protect like you have to protect the army going into Garlemald to liberate Garlemald, and you get surprise tagged from every front, from your side, from your flanking, from the rear, from the front, and you as a warrior of light, you have to go in and fight them all off, right?
Yeah.
And it felt very like Dynasty Warriors, because you kill somebody and whatnot, right? And you hear like Lee said, "Yes, we have the warrior of light on our side." It have those like weird moments. I feel like my character gonna say like, "I've destroyed 500 enemies" or some shit.
Yeah. Oh man, I haven't played Dynasty Warriors in so long, but I know what you mean. It's like every time I kill like 1,000 enemies, he's just like, "I'm the true warrior of the Three Kingdoms" or something like that.
Yeah, that's what it felt like to me, and I'm glad they're like kind of spreading out, and like this is an MMO, and it doesn't go into the MMO, I guess, trend. Like it's spreading itself differently, which I like. They're trying new things, and so there's that in Garlemald. What I kind of hated was, I kind of like but hated it, was the hide and seek. There's a moment in the story where you had to follow a girl that was getting follow a woman that was getting yeah, you remember now?
Yeah, the hide and go seek. That shit. That shit was shit.
Yes.
I hate it. I think the first one you had to follow the girl. Well, it wasn't the girl, but the woman back to her camp. Was that the first one?
Yeah. Going back to her camp. That wasn't so bad. Going back to her camp, but the boy. Oh my! I got flipped, man. There's this one point where you're going like behind a pillar. The boy goes really fast.
He's like, who's there? He's a sprint. Who's there?
I was like, huh? Like I was like, that's really fast. Okay, let's keep going. And then let me guess, you stood behind that car, right?
Yeah.
That flipped over car.
Yeah.
And that out of nowhere, that boy tried to fucking go around and see you, huh? And you got caught.
I didn't get caught there, but I did get caught at another point.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got caught at the point where I was following the woman, because I was just like, how far is how close is too close? I don't really know.
Oh yeah.
Their field of vision, like. It wasn't until later on I figured out that you can just, if you have flight, you can just fly over them.
What?
And they won't see you. Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you got a mount and you can fly in the air, you can just fly over them.
But I mean, that's impossible to do, though.
I mean, yeah, impossible early on, but for like the later missions, like if you have some side quests, because I started doing the side quests to level on the side or whatever, and I found a couple of those Metal Gear Solid quests, and I was just like, I wonder if I can just fly on top of this building, and yeah, you're able to just fly above the person.
Wow.
I don't know what the actual range is, and I wish it showed you like their full, vision, their full point of view, so that you can make sure that you're not in it. And you don't just, they see you, and I'm just like, how do you see me? I'm literally freaking Batman on top of this building. How do you see me? But okay, so when you follow the girl back to the camp and you deal with the Guardians who are just like, they just don't trust you, and they're just like hell bent on not accepting any help from you. That shit is rough. Like, I'm just like, fuck, this shit is just a little too real.
Yeah,
because it's like there's people like that who are just like, they're hell bent on being like, yeah, you're the bad, and I'm not accepting any help from you, and it's just like,
it's all a matter of perspective, right? Like,
yeah.
Like what they see, like they never seen, like, I can imagine somebody not seeing an Erosian before, but they know that we're in constant battle with them, and all of a sudden our government or whatever just toppled down because of some unknown tempering and shit, right? That turn your family members and shit against you. And also you have the Erosian front like start marching in your territory. Like, you don't know what they're doing. They say they doing this, but how do you know that for sure? And so I get it, but yeah, no, that was like really real. Then what I also liked about I was gonna skip. We should talk about the dungeon first. So
what was the second dungeon?
The second dungeon is when you invade. It was Tower of Babel.
Right, that dungeon.
Right. Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel was, like, honestly, from playing like the first one, like Tower of Zot, I didn't feel. Okay, no, never mind. No, never mind. So the first part of the dungeon was really cool. That train sequence was very
Right,
Final
right.
Fantasy VII to me.
Yeah, I love the train sequence.
That train
it definitely did feel like something from Final Fantasy VII.
And I like how they put their spin on it, which is like was really good. And then like, what was the first boss? That's the thing. Some of these bosses weren't like really like.
The first boss was the guy who had the negative positive.
Yeah.
It was like a big punching enemy.
Yeah,
that was the first boss.
Yeah, like some of these bosses weren't like
memorable.
Memorable. Like I feel like the first two boss wasn't memorable, but then like the very last one is kind of memorable. I mean, like I know who the last boss is, right? The last boss is his name. What is it? Was it Anima?
Yeah, Anima.
And it's the resurrection of what's his fellow name? The king, or was king of Garlemald.
Yeah.
And he got.
Didn't they do? Did we deal with? No. It was after. It was after this.
Yeah. That's what I was trying to. I know exactly what you're thinking about because I want to explain the dungeon first. But Anima is the king of Garlemald. He got turned into a we call it a primal. Got turned into a primal, and all the other Garleans kept on worshiping him through like the radio or some shit, but they never knew, and that's how they were getting tempered and shit. So and creating Anima, that fight itself, like it felt like a trial. It kind of felt like a trial because like I never been into a boss where it switches zones on you in a dungeon. It's just like I only see that in trials where like your screen goes like HUDless and it transforms you into another realm. So, and the only reason why I think they did it that way was because Anima was supposed to be an elder primal, and we killed it pretty quick. We're powerhouses.
We're
powerhouses.
I'm kind of disappointed because I wanted that fight to be like, honestly, when they first announced that fight, I thought it was going to be the first trial.
That's what I thought too. Right.
And I was just like, oh, okay, this is going to be the first trial. And then he showed up in a dungeon, and I was just like, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
Yeah. I was confused by it too. I was like,
I was like, okay, I guess. Like, yeah, I guess that's how I felt about it.
But there's that. Then after we finished that dungeon, we killed the Anima, and we went. I guess some way or another we went back to the. We went back to broken glass. We went back to the broken glass.
Right.
Yada yada yada. Van Daniel started some shit. Did the spookums. He spookums everyone. And out of nowhere he captured us just by teleporting us in a way towards why was I about to say Xemnas? His name is not Xemnas. Why can't
Xemnas?
Oh shit. What's
Xehanort?
Yeah, Xehanort too. Oh fuck. Damn it, what's his name? I can't think of it right now. Big
Xenos.
Xenos, there you go, Xenos. Shit, that's a shame. But yeah, we teleported Xenos. Xenos was saying, "Oh, I want to have dinner with you," blase blase, which is kind of gay. And like because he really have a hard on for the Warrior of Light. Like he really want to fight him. And Daniel, what he did, he separated our soul from our body and put us in a Imperial soldier body, and Xenos took over our body and start heading off to our base, which is in Broken Glass.
Yeah, the body switch thing threw me off. I was just like, are you fucking serious right now?
Man.
Oh my fucking god. I was like, the first part that just had me just like yelling at the screen like, no!
At least, hey man, at least he didn't switch our souls into a frog, man. You know.
At least there was that, yeah.
Yeah. Like fucking, and at least when he took our body, he didn't do Milky Cannon and shit, you know.
Milky Cannon.
Yeah. But that's a Dragon Ball Z reference. But yeah. So we went after our body, trying to get our body back, right? And this scene, this whole trial here, it's not a trial, it's a duty, right? This whole duty was so amazing. Like, you're an Imperial soldier in foreign lands, deserted lands, and it's full of other Imperial soldiers are tempered, and they're all hostile to you, and you're broken, you're weakened, like you don't have like the blessing of light, you don't have all your skills or anything like that, you're like super weak.
Yeah.
And
you're just a normal basic soldier with basic soldier skills.
Like, bro, like I feel like it was kind of like a battle royale on that. Like well, no, I wouldn't say battle royale. I think it's more Snake Eater than anything.
Why?
I think it's
running around like a crazy man.
Yeah, you are. Honestly, like for real, I was confused at first. I was like, "Wait, where do I go? Don't I go back to the?" I was thinking to myself, like, "Don't I go back to the camp?" And like, I'm fighting each monster and whatnot, like and like getting stuff from their dead bodies. Like you can't heal on your own. You have to scavenge broken claw machines, broken mounts, Magitech mounts.
Yeah, it was a really cool instance.
Yeah, it was really nice. And at the end of the instance, where you help some of the Garlemals and whatnot defend like some people off, and at the very end you explode and shit, right? And you start crawling all the way to the broken glass, dude. That was so good.
It was straight Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, straight Metal Gear Solid. That's really all I like. I didn't like when Xenos got over there with our body. That was stupid. He could have killed everyone, but he didn't. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But he took his good ass time to walk over there, and they knew who he was before he even hit the camp. So
shit.
So that's Golem Mold.
What happened after that? Try to think what happened after that. So yeah, after that whole fight and we got our body back, I think that's when we had to
I think we got this flipped.
Did we have it flipped?
Because I think it was the Snake Eater scene. No, it was a Snake Eater scene, and they told us everything that they were going to do in that in the Tower of Babel, and then we told all the other Scions about it. They said, "Oh, we definitely need to go there like right now. We need to get a group together." Blase blase. And they had to work together with.
Oh yeah, we do have it flipped because it wasn't until after the dungeon that's when we right.
Yeah, we went to the moon After the dungeon, we went to the moon.
It was during the fight that Xenos took our body, and during the confusion,
that provoked us to go to the dungeon.
Yeah, that provoked us to go to the dungeon. Right.
Yeah. There's that. So now technically we are on the moon now, right? Moon.
Yes. Moon. We're on the moon.
I thought moon was going to be the biggest place. I was kind of. I'm glad we went to the moon and whatnot, but what I expected to see like aliens there, instead we saw like little bunny people. I guess that's fine. They're very cute. They have very cute names. That was cool. The coolest thing I think was actually fighting Zodiac. They successfully open Zodiac from the moon. Apparently Zodiac was in the moon the whole entire time. Actually they hinted that a lot.
Yeah. So then we fight Zodiac, which is the first actual trial.
Yes.
And it was great.
I love that trial. Especially when you start like turning the platforms and everything. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't fear him though. I was
just kind of just like, wow, they're having us fight Zodiac now? Like, we're just in the 4th area.
Yeah.
Like, so it threw me for a loop, because it's like this whole time I'm just thinking that Zodiac is the big bad, you know? Like, this is the guy that we need to beat to stop all the bad stuff from happening. And then it just kind of throw you for a loop. It's just like, oh yeah, he's not that bad. There's far worse out there.
Far worse. That and at the end of the Zodiac fight, you start to realize now that Fan Daniel is not really Fan Daniel. No. It's okay. It's weird to me. All of this is kind of weird to me. Okay, so
kinda.
No, it's weird. It's like it's Kingdom Hearts weird. Okay,
it's Kingdom Hearts weird. Yeah,
it's confused. It's confusing as shit. Like Kingdom Hearts.
I can agree with that.
But Fan Daniel is actually Amon from the Crystal Tower series.
Yeah. That threw me off. I was just like, what?
Yeah. From the Crystal Tower series, and we'll touch base back to that again once we reach to the next official area, right? But his thing was complete. He killed himself, activated the final days, and now we're going all the way back to Thavnir to save it. And that starts our next dungeon. We're like trying to save as many people as we can. And we went to Thavnir to start the first the third dungeon. I forgot the name of it, but I like that third dungeon a lot. Because the reason why I like it is because the damn, I didn't actually let you talk about the moon. What do you think about the moon?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I hated the fucking rabbits.
Yeah.
I felt like it kind of destroyed the tension that the Zodiac boss gave us. And it's like all of a sudden, like, oh look, he's these cute, funny rabbits, you know, and it's just like, no. It really just kind of destroyed the tension.
Yeah, it really did. But I did find them cute though, and like especially that one conversation they were saying like, "What? I thought you were taller. Who brought these kids?" And it's like, what are you talking about? You the only short person here.
Yeah, we're not kids. We're the people you were supposed to be helping evacuate, and then they go. They're like, oh, we gotta redo all the beds. They're too big.
Everybody panic. Wait, they don't like carrots like we do. What is this?
Yeah, just silly stuff. I did feel like it took away from the tension
for sure
a bit.
Because I was laughing the whole entire time instead of worrying about the Zodiac.
Yeah. I'm just like, okay, we just battled Zodiac, and now he's released the final days, and then it's like, here's a funny part with these bunny people, or it's like no. Like, no.
It kind of ruins it. But so Thavnir, right? Third dungeon. What do you think about third dungeon?
I can't remember what it was.
So the third dungeon is we went to Thavnir, right? And the people were getting like burnt. Like the final days starting happening there. People start transforming.
Oh my god, bro! That dungeon?
Yeah.
That was probably the most intense dungeon of the entire thing. That shit was ridiculous.
I agree.
Yeah, that dungeon was a bit much.
Yeah, because you have like mothers turning into like they call them blasphemies, and
right in front of her kids.
They make you watch this stuff. Yeah. Watch all her children turn into blasphemies too. Like I'm like, huh? No, let me save them. I'm right here.
I'm right here. I'm the warrior of light. Please.
No, they get turned into blasphemies. You kill them all. No way to really put that, but
yeah, I mean, it makes you feel like everything is hopeless.
Yes. And then after that, so at the very end of the dungeon, I like what they did at the very end of the dungeon. That was pretty cool. The very last boss, that was pretty nice, and it looks really cool too. The whole scenery, like even though it looks so bad, it looks so good. Bad as in
words,
huh?
It was like words. Even though it looks so bad, it looks so good.
Okay, yeah. So it looks terrible, right? Because like wait, hold on. Is this already ending? Wait, what the fuck is going on? It looks so bad because everything in the area is like burning to a crisp. You have all these blasphemies in the air, right?
Right.
But it looks good because I'm intent. I'm it's intense, and I'm immersed in the story of what's happening right now. That's what I mean.
Right.
So there's that dungeon. What do we do after that? I think we did like some investigating stuff in Thavnir and whatnot, and found out how people are turning into blasphemies, and we saw that there's a connection with the Elpis flower, right? The Elpis flower is the same energy as these spirits, these blasphemies. So we went to that Shadowbreaker stuff. Went to what was that place called? That Crystal Tower called? The Crystarium.
Right.
We went to the Crystarium, and we teleported to the world named Elpis, which I love Elpis. That's the sixth area. The sixth area, right?
Was it 6 or 5?
5. I lost count. Let's say 5. The fifth area. It's really, really nice. Although I did not like how the story introduced us to Elpis, because it plays with time travel. Time travel breaks shit a lot in games and movies. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, because there's so many different things when it comes to time travel that really screws up the story. Because when you start implementing time travel in anything, is difficult to account for every possible thing. And it's like, oh, well, if they could time travel, like, what's stopping them from doing this? Or if they could time travel, like, why didn't they do this? Or, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So, like, it's
certain places and games and media decide to, but you know what I mean. Certain movies and TV shows, they do it differently. It's like some people, it's like, oh, time travel, you can't interact with anything in the past, or this will happen. And then other people are like, oh yeah, time travel, you can go back and change your current future. And then other people are like, oh well, no, it doesn't change your future, it just branches off and makes an alternate future. But it's like, considering that time travel doesn't actually exist, there's no way for people to really know how it would actually work. Would it actually alter the timeline? Would it destroy our timeline? Like, would it just branch off into a different timeline? Like, you don't really know, because it doesn't really exist. So
time is relative.
Yeah, time travel is a mess. I mean, as fucking Kingdom fucking Hearts, don't put the time travel in your game. Just stop.
Yeah, like, especially, like, at least
like, Kingdom Hearts needed fucking time travel. It was already confusing as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, so Elpis, right? We teleported Elpis with the help of Elidibus, which I had no idea. I feel like they retconned that. Elidibus is part of the system of the Crystal Tower, and he's just a memory of the Crystal Tower because he was so attuned to it.
Right.
And with the last of his power, he teleported him to the Warrior Light to Elpis, right? Back to the past. Which makes sense because Elpis did that when he was summoning the Warrior Lights to fight us, right? Why didn't he? So, time travel, right? How come he didn't do that to destroy the Warrior of Light that was messing up his plan in Shadowbringers? You know what I mean?
Yeah, if he had the ability to time travel.
If he had the ability to time travel, how come he couldn't kill us? But that's another story. But anyways, Elpis looks really nice, and you start to learn about how these creatures, how every creature in the in Final Fantasy XIV is created.
Right.
They're created.
Speaking of Elpis, Elpis is my favorite part of this entire expansion so far. Like, just this whole story, from the moment you enter to the moment you leave. If the game was just this, I would love this game.
Yeah.
If it was just the Elpis scene,
because
I would love this game.
The acting with the Imixelk, Hydrolatos, Hermes, and Venat, right? Their acting they're so good. They're separate from each other. Especially Imixelk, man. Especially Imixelk. My man. Like, he is so good.
He looking like Xehanort over there, man.
Right? But we figure out also that Hermes is supposed to be Fandaniel. Again, I don't know how especially me, I still don't know how Hermes, Fandaniel, and Amon are all related to each other. I'm thinking Fandaniel is a name, right? Like it's a placeover. Like, you're the governor, right? And Fandaniel was first Hermes, and then Amon later on, something like that. That's my guess. But still, Amon have the memories. This is Kingdom Hearts. No, no, we're not doing it. Okay, so then we start to realize that there's this little girl, Metium, right?
Yeah, me too.
That Hermes created, and she is the product of the final days because she saw everything in the world, everything in the universe, and every Meteon said like, "There's no hope. There's no hope," and transformed.
They went searching different edges of the galaxy, different planets, and everywhere they went, there was pretty much nothing but death. Nobody really there to answer the question that Hermes sent her out to answer, which was, "Why do you live?"
Yeah.
Which was just a terrible question to send out.
A child.
Yeah, out to the world. Be like, why do you live? Huh? It's just like, you could have been anything else, like what brings you joy or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to go and send that child out there to say that was just like, no.
Right.
You're setting yourself up for failure.
And so she was trying to develop this message to Hermes, and Hermes took her away to the next dungeon, and she took him away because MXL and the rest of the party say, "Hey, we gotta shut her up. We don't want to hear what she want to say." And that dungeon, the next dungeon, which is, I forgot the name of it. It's a library, pretty much.
Yeah, it's called Kitisis Hyperborean. Boreana or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Did you do that with people, or you did it with like a trust?
I did it with trust, because as soon as I was like, I could play with Emmett, so fuck anybody.
Yeah,
I'm with my boy.
I said the same thing, and bro, like doing it with a trust was way. I was like blown. I was like, bro, this is so cool. Like Emmett,
Yeah, something about doing the dungeons with trust. I was like, why does it feel so easy? Like, I don't feel like I'm in trouble. Like, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it's a 4-man dungeon. But like, when you do that shit with people, it's just like, oh shit, man, I feel like I'm dying or like close to death at any second, man.
But not only that, but if you feel more immersive because you have character development with you, right? I felt that way in I felt that way in Shadowbringers 2, where they started doing trust. Like, I don't know if you did any trust over there, but certain things happen when you're in a trust.
I think I did it in like the first dungeon, and then I didn't worry about it or maybe the second dungeon with the frog. I might have done it in that dungeon. I can't remember, but I think after that I was just like, like if I felt like I have to bring these guys along for this dungeon, then I did it. But I don't think a lot of I think I did it for the first and maybe the second one, and then after that I just queued with people.
But I might start like doing all the trusts now, just because of this dungeon right here, because you like there's certain moments where like MXL was like say something like, "Oh, the pitiful enemy, you think you can hit me," and he teleports out of the way out of something. I'm like, oh shit, take me with you. I'm running after him and shit. Like, that's cool. I love that shit. Like, I'm actually like, I feel like my character is in the goddamn game. I feel like I'm in the game. It's so nice, so cool. The dungeon, the first two bosses, I can't really remember. But
you had the wolf boss that would go underground, and you had to use his footprints to figure out where he was at.
Oh yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
And the second boss had the snake heads. You had to watch out which way he was going to breathe fire. Yeah, it wasn't really spectacular.
And then you have Hermes at last. I don't really remember his mechanics. But he looks cool.
Oh, I remember his mechanics.
What was his mechanics?
Like he had a double cast. So like the game, it always starts you off by showing you mechanics separately, and then they start adding mechanics together or adding another layer on top of it. So
Right.
it's like it's not the same as the first time you saw it. Oh, now we added something else to it.
Right.
I mean, a lot of it was like just a lot of dodging, of course, because I mean, it's Final Fantasy. What else you gonna do but dodge AOE's? It wasn't that difficult, but I feel like it was because I did it with the trust system. I was able to understand it. The only part I think that got me first was when he dropped the 4 meteors, and it was like one of the meteors was a good meteor, and the other meteors would break. And he did the wind spell.
Oh.
And you had to hide behind the rock. You had to hide behind the good rock because the good rock could take 2 hits. The other rocks couldn't. So if you hid behind the wrong rock, you would get hit and take a lot of damage.
I mean, they showed us a mechanic like that already, right? In like earlier expansions.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Bardom, was it Bardom's Metal? With where you don't fight at all. There was a boss you don't fight at all, and you just do like puzzles.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there was no telling that that's how that mechanic would have worked. But I mean, once you've seen it, it's like, okay, yeah, this is how this mechanic works. It's just slightly different.
Right. Okay.
And that other one, it was like you had to just hide behind the rock because it was a meteor. But this one, you had to, like, the wind was coming from like the north and the west. So it's like you had to hide south of the rock and then move and hide east so you would dodge the west wind that was coming after the north wind. So I feel like it was a little bit more interesting because of that, but it's not important.
So after we finished that dungeon, Meteon said her message to Hermes, and Hermes said, "You know what? You're right, Meteon, for some odd reason, and save her to start the final days to destroy, I guess, the universe." And it was like, okay, Hermes, you're fucking dumb. You created this thing, and now she controls you. Like, what the fuck? You know, just reprogram her or some shit. You did something wrong, all right? So the whole entire scene was pretty good. I love it a lot. Like Imixelt again. He is the star of that, man. He is so good, man. So after that, actually, I missed one part. Before we even went to. Oh no. I think this happened after we went to this dungeon. Maybe this happened after.
After you went to that dungeon, you left.
Oh, okay. Okay, then it's before then. So before, we fought against Venat.
Yeah.
That shit was cool.
The 101 fight.
Yeah, that 1-on-1 fight where she was a dancer, she was a paladin, and she was a white mage at the same damn time.
Yeah. It's like, oh, so this is why the Warrior of Light has the ability to like switch jobs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And this is also why we forgot to mention that the dog like us on the moon because he already met us in the past. He said, "Oh, I remember you."
Like I said, we don't have to tell every little detail of the story. Just talk about the parts that we found interesting.
Yeah, I know. I found it's hard. I found everything interesting. Okay. All right, so there's that. Then a lot of things happen. Logistics, and we needed to talk to Heidelin, right? So we're skipping like really far ahead and to
because we had to go back and help everybody,
right?
Because they were fighting, and the final days had reached Garlemald and everything, and we're gonna do that whole fight. And after we helped them there, I think that's when they discussed going back and talking to the people in Old Charlian.
Mm-hmm. In Old Charlian, we just do a whole bunch of like lore stuff, and it comes up to the final, not the final dungeon, the level 89 dungeon, where we have to go into the Soul Stream to find Hydaelyn. That dungeon was super cool because I had a lot of lore stuff.
I remember that dungeon because I had some issues where my audio just disappeared.
That happened to me in the
whole dungeon.
Yeah, that happened to me in the first dungeon. Actually, I had to restart my game.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I don't want to log out because I'm not going to be able to log back in.
Yeah.
So I had to do that whole dungeon with no audio, and I've never gotten it in queues since then. So it's like I did it once, and I don't remember a lot of it. I remember a lot of people helping us, that people that are no longer with us helping us, and I was just like, oh, this would be so awesome if I could hear the sounds.
Yeah. There's a lot of throwbacks. Like the first the first boss was fucking what's his name? Like he was so forgettable up till now. But it's the remember the first level 50 trial where we have to fight the guy with the two shields.
You talking about in Cape Wastewind?
Yeah, that's him. The first boss.
That was the first boss?
Yeah, he had two shields.
Remember? I don't even remember.
He had two shields, and when he died, he said, "I failed Lord Gaius again."
See, like I said, I was kind of out of it for that one because I had no audio.
Yeah, I recommend try to play that dungeon again. But that was pretty cool. The second boss, I don't really remember. And the third boss is Amon. That was really nice. Although I was still confused about Amon. I really don't know how all this works. It's Kingdom Hearts shit. And then we fight Hydaelyn.
Yeah, the other trial. After you make it to Hydaelyn, Hydaelyn's like, alright, prove yourself to us. Or to me.
Mm-hmm. And Hydaelyn was... I liked the fight.
Oh, the fight was great. And she looks amazing too. Like, I think in Shadowbringers, my favorite trial fight was Fatboy Slim.
Oh yeah, Fatboy Slim.
Fatboy Slim, I think, was my favorite fight next to the Warrior of Light fight.
Oh,
that fight was amazing too. But yeah, those two most definitely. And then here we are in Shadowbringers, and I'm just like, yeah, of all the trials I've done so far, the Hydaelyn fight most definitely is my favorite one, and will probably end up being my favorite one. Unless Square Enix surprises me with something else.
They're going to surprise you with something else, man. Best believe. But yeah, so there's that, right? The whole Hydaelyn fight, we kicked her ass and say, and it was the first time too you can do a trust system with.
Oh yeah, the trial trust system with all the trusts.
Yeah.
It was the first trial trust system dungeon that they gave us.
I'm like,
and
damn.
I ended up doing it with the trust the first time.
Oh, how you like it?
It was interesting. It's like, I don't know, something about the trust system. It's like I know they're not actual people, so I feel like I'm kind of doing it alone. But it's like when you see all the AIs do all the mechanics correctly, and then you get hit by something, you don't feel good. Like, it doesn't feel good. It's just like, oh, I'm the only one that got hit by that, and I was like, well, yeah, because the rest of them are AIs. Like at least if you're at a party, right, and with randoms, and you screw up, there's probably another person in the party that screwed up, unless like you're dealing with a bunch of people who know the fight. And, I mean, but even with like old dungeons, people go back and they forget fights and they screw up on mechanics. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. That's how this works.
So there's that, right? And so after we killed Heidelin, yeah, she's like technically dead after that. I'm skipping ahead here because we have to make it to the last place, which is the Ultima Thule. Ultima Thule. Ultima Thule was the whole entire thing was a mood. I cried the whole fucking way. I literally did cry the whole fucking way. First thing that happens, which was really cool. I didn't like how this happened, but the first thing that happened is that Thancred is the first one to die. By getting bitch slapped by Meteon out of existence, and we didn't see that.
Yeah, it happened off screen, and I was just kind of just like, there's no way y'all killed my boy off screen.
Yeah.
There's no fucking way.
He got Yamcha'd, man.
I was heated already. I was just like going into here. I'm just like, there's no way. But as things go on, I'm just like, okay, so this is what this is.
Yeah. So each person pretty much died in their own thematical way, trying to help the Warrior Light.
Yeah, as you lose teammates, they bridge the gap for you to progress onward. Like the planet pretty much was uninhabitable until Thancred died, and his I don't know, essence pretty much brought atmosphere to the planet that allows you to breathe.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. You keep running into these walls, and someone has to sacrifice themselves to bridge the gap so that you can proceed. And the music in that area is the best music, the best song in this entire game. At Me is the best song in this entire game. It's so fucking good.
It's so much feels in it. You have to like.
There's so much feels in it.
I had to take like I think 2 breaks in that whole entire area because I was crying so much. I swear I was. And we come up to a point now where everybody helped us get to the very top to meet Meteon, and we were able to. I really like this part a lot. Where you're able to summon back, what's his name, Imixelk and Hydra Lados.
Yeah.
And fucking Imixel, his acting in that part was phenomenal and shit. And he introduced Meteon, the Elpis flowers and shit, and she started crying like, "Oh my god, flowers! They still bloom here! Oh, there's no despair."
Well, yeah, that's because Hermes promised her that the next time they meet, he would show her a field of the Elpis flowers.
Right. But also like it also shows that like the sacrifice everybody made, that those Elpis flowers have roots and they can grow. So not all hope is lost, kind of thing. And it summons everybody back. Well, actually, we summon everybody back through a crystal. And we start the next dungeon. So fake news. No one's dead. The dungeon itself is also a mood. I like it a lot, and I feel like it's the most memorable one.
Yeah, because the dungeon because you had her giving her report to Hermes, and while you're going through Ultimate Thrall, you run into all these different races and figure out like what happened and why they pretty much given up hope and don't no longer wish to live. And it's kind of crazy, but like a lot of it is kind of justifiable, but at the same time it's just like you can't just give up. Like you can't just call it quits and then that's just it.
It's a throwback. It's definitely a throwback to the last dungeon in Shadowbringers, where MXL did the same thing. He told a story about the final days. Now she's telling a story about Meteon is telling the story of why everybody's just losing hope and shit.
Right.
By far, I feel like the coolest parts is the second part, because you're literally following a guy going through a whole entire area. It's an NPC, of course, and if you see what he's saying, he's like, "Oh, there's still time. There's still time." Like you're thinking that, "Oh, he's going to save everyone." But at the very end of the dungeon, he actually killed everyone. He killed not only the enemies, but also his allies. And I was like, "Damn, that's tough."
Yeah,
that's tough.
I think there was that was that part in the dungeon where the guy launched all the
missiles.
Yeah. When I saw that, like, I don't know, it definitely put me in a mood. I was just like, how am I supposed to continue to tank this dungeon? like I'm destroyed right now, because I'm just like, that's just, oh, like, my goodness, man. And like to see all that destruction off of that, it was just, oh my goodness. And then it's like you teleport to another world and you have all the people who pretty much have eternal life, but they've pretty much lived to the point where they want to die. I can't remember if it was the race that had eternal life and just lived long enough to just no longer want to live, or if it was the race that had took away all the negatives of the world and was only positive. But because there were no, it's like you have good time, you have bad times, but if you have no bad times, the good times have no meaning.
Yeah.
It loses its meaning, and like that's so deep.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, that's fucking true.
Yeah.
It's like if all you had was good times, the good times would lose its meaning, and it would just
its value would be very deficient.
Yeah, it wouldn't have any value because you don't have the opposite to, level the scale, and it's just kind of just how, like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is kind of how the world is. Like, you have good and you have bad, and it's like, yes, you wish for everything to be good, but that bad is kind of necessary in a way to like, you have to have a balance of good and evil.
Like this dungeon was
always
gonna
be a thing.
It was definitely dark, this dungeon.
I mean, yeah, this whole thing, like, it's very difficult to watch if you have any bit of like depression or like suicidal thoughts. It's very difficult to sit here and go through this and watch this much play it. So it was kind of hard to sit through the dungeon and keep going, and I was just like, man, this is a bit much,
right?
But it's memorable. It's pretty amazing that they put this in a dungeon, like in a video game, in an MMO. It's just like, fuck.
You can't do that in any other MMO. I feel like I don't know. It's, oh my god.
It's like, now when I go back and I want to talk about like the Garlemald scene, I forgot about the whole what they did to Alphino and Alize, like the whole scenes like you were with them and you tried to help those people and they ended up fighting back and like the girls ran off and got killed, like that was devastating for them. And then for them to find this camp where all these Garmods are and you're just trying to help them out and they just treat you like, you know, a prisoner, and just, oh my god, that shit was just, shit was a lot. I think even my babe was like, after she saw that scene, she was like, yo, they needed a fucking Academy Award or something.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need more awards in the fucking the Game Awards, man.
Like, holy shit, man.
But no, you have Fortnite people saying it should have been Fortnite.
Fortnite, man. God damn it.
But yeah. So after that very last dungeon, the scene afterwards was fucking troubling because oh my god, everybody's getting knocked and turned.
Yeah, everybody's getting wrecked.
And so
of course our characters are sitting there. Alright, so that's another thing I want to talk about, right? They need to actually implement our character in these fights. And it's like, we're the Warrior of Light, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have the ability to be any class. Just do exactly what you've been doing with Heidelin with our character.
Yeah.
Or exactly what you've been doing with Grahatia with our character. Allow him to summon weapons of light and fight in those cutscenes, so I feel like I can actually do something. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of times, it's like your character's just sitting on the side, or like one of your friends have to jump in to do the fight for you, and I'm just like, no, I'm let me do. I'm the fucking Warrior of Light.
You know what they should do? You know what they should do? They should like have you know how in certain cutscenes like they recognize that you're a white mage, like, oh, you're a paladin, but I know you because you were a white mage, right?
Where, like they'll allow you to like unsheath your weapon,
right?
But they won't allow you to actually hit anybody or attack or defend with it.
Yeah. So what I was going to say was, they do another check, like maybe like next expansion, right? If you get all your characters to 90 or some shit like that, there's a special cutscene where you do that. You know.
It doesn't even matter. Like,
okay.
Like I said, because you're the Warrior of Light, you have the ability to switch to all of these classes. I don't think you need to have the classes unlocked. Like, if you don't have the class unlocked, that's your ass. But it's like you should just be able to switch to any job for the story's sake. Like, pull out a weapon.
You have to think about it. Like, if let's say I didn't level up Paladin at all, and in that scene I somehow pull out my fucking sword and shield, I'm like, wait, what? My Paladin's still level 1 and I can still beat this guy? Like still beat this character or some shit? Like, it'll be kind of weird and immersion breaking. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
But anyways,
I mean, they did that in PSO2. In their story, because of course you have different weapons or whatnot, which off of different classes, but it was like, your character would just switch to different weapons and just be fighting with different weapons. Like, you don't have to have that weapon in your inventory, you don't have to have used that class. It's kind of known that your character has the adaptability to use multiple different weapons. So it's like, because, like you said, you're the Warrior Light, just like Grahatia, how he could switch between being a paladin or being a white mage or a black mage. Like, you should have that ability to do that, even if they don't want to do like all the new classes. If they just want to do like just like they did with Grahatia, just the basic stuff, like that would be fine. Like a way for my character to be able to heal people, like in moments where people need healing. A way for my character to be able to shield people. You become a paladin, block with your shield, or if you have to attack, you become a black mage and you cast spells or whatever. I digress, though. It's not that big of a deal. I just feel like there are some limitations there, and it bothers me a bit. And I personally would like that to not be a thing, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe it would be immersion breaking, but I don't think I would have an issue with it. But that's because I level most things anyways.
Yeah, most people do. So it's understandable. But so when everybody get their shit smacked, fucking Shinryu shows up. And Shinryu is actually fucking Xenos, which I don't know how that works, but okay. It was really cool when he came in here like that, but I don't know how it works.
Yeah,
and then the final
somehow
fight
through Xenos trying to find a power strong enough to fight you with, he got the power of Shinryu again back.
So he did it. He did it mostly, I think, to follow the Warrior of Light to Ultima Thule, and help him in a fight, so he can fight him. Because he just realized now, like, dude, let me just help you and everything, so we can actually fight.
So we can fight. Like, you're taking forever.
Yeah, exactly. Like, damn. But so the final fight begins with the end singer or some shit. I forgot what Mintion's name is. The final trial. The final trial was like super interesting. It's new mechanics everywhere. Like when I saw like two planets crashing into each other and shit.
I mean, yeah, even in the cutscene, I was just like, she's literally throwing whole planets at people. Like,
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck y'all think y'all gonna do.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing, man. I like it a lot. And one thing I really liked in that trial, in the middle of it, I think when you did the DP after the DPS check or some shit, you get chained up or something like that, and Meteon tried to end it there, like trying to end it, and then you had, I like it but kind of hate it. Then you had prayers from all the Scions. I got teleported back to help you out, you know. I guess they were praying from the 12th, right? I don't know how the 12 got all the way over there, but their blessings reached us, which is weird, but also cool at the same time, because then we were able to finally defeat Meteon or whatever. But you see my point too. Like, their blessings was definitely, I feel like it was retcon, that blessing. Like, oh, you saved us in the last minute with the blessing. Like, really? You could have just blessed us like way beginning.
I mean, the thing was, the whole thing was with the flower, the Elpis flower. It was kind of hinting towards Dynamis being the thing that would save you, and it's like, come to find out, Dynamis we've been using this entire time. It's our limit break that allows us to break our limits and do crazy things is Dynamis. That's why in that fight, that's why in that fight where she reverses the time and she sends the planet back at you for a second time. Well, the first time she did it, she goes and you block it with the LB, the tank LB, because you have to tank LB or you'll die. She goes, Dynamis, no matter, you know.
Oh, she actually said Dynamis. I was weird about that too. I was like, wait, what?
So the limit break is Dynamis. So it makes sense that all the times that we've fought, it's like even in that fight with the Warrior of Light where you had to use the limit break to block his attack, that was Dynamis. You know, we were using something that we didn't know what it actually was. So the limit break that we've been using all this time has been Dynamis.
I didn't catch that. That's so cool. Shit, that's cool. Then I feel like the 12th thing, I feel like that's a whole nother thing then. That's not, it's not Aether and it's not Dynamis.
Yeah, it's like when we talked to Elidibus before he left. He was like, there's so many things that you don't know about, so many things you haven't seen. And he starts rattling off all these places and things. And I feel like it's kind of Yoshi P kind of like hint, like, this is not the end. Like, there's still a lot of things for you to see. Right. Even though this is the end of this chapter, there's still a lot that you don't know about this world. Mm-hmm. I was like, yeah, even like when you make your character and you have to choose like one of the 12 to kind of worship, I guess. Yeah. A lot of people are just like, what the hell is this for?
Yeah, exactly. and you don't figure out until, I guess, like when we start raiding for.
Yeah, I think eventually, I think this series of raids is gonna be about the 12. So we'll finally figure out who the 12 are. Like, what is the 12 to us? Like, what do they mean?
Right.
But I mean, it's still gonna come to a point where I'm gonna be like, "Yo, where were you when all this shit was going down?
Yeah.
Like, literally, our galaxy is about to get destroyed. Where the fuck are you guys at?"
Yeah.
So exactly. I mean, I'm sure Yoshi P is not. He's a smart man. They will figure out a way to explain it and not leave those loose ends.
Right. So like, you know, that's the whole entire trial and everything. And at the very end, before the credits, we have another fight, a secret fight with Xenos. We talked about this a little bit with each other.
Yeah, we hinted at it in our last podcast, I believe.
Yeah,
and without trying to tell exactly what it was, and now I can tell you exactly why I did not like that fight. So. The fight itself was fine. I enjoyed the fight with him. It was after you beat him when it like got down to being like a fist battle. Like, both y'all weapons are gone, y'all pretty much drained of all your energy, and y'all are like punching each other. And I'm like, this is a limitation, right? If this had been like a standalone single player game, like if this had been Final Fantasy 16, you wouldn't have this issue. But because it's an MMO and you have a custom created character, you never see any of your hits connect. Not a single hit ever connects with Xenos, and no hit from him connects with you, because you have a bunch of different body types. Like, if you were a Lalafell fighting Xenos, there's no way they can make it to where your punch would connect, because it'll be different. Like, it's like you'll be punching him in like the knee. Versus,
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, versus
if you're a Lalafell, what the fuck?
Like, yeah, if you were a Lalafell, it wouldn't. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It kind of took me out of it, because
imagine you're a Rogadon.
I'm thinking about the limitations to it, and I understand why it is limited, but that also kind of threw me out of the immersion of the fight. And I'm just like, I can't really be down. Like, even then, I'm just like, well, what if you were a girl? You know, I mean, not to be sexist or anything, but I'm like,
it's 2021, dude.
Xenos over here just punching girls in the face. I mean, I don't know. He's done worse, but still. I don't know. It just kind of threw me off with the punching, and to beat him with a punch at that. It's bullshit. First of all, it's bullshit. That nigga is not dead. There's no way you beat that nigga with a punch. I don't care if it was charged with fucking dynamite. No. There's no way you beat that nigga with a fucking punch.
Yeah, well...
But that was my issue. That was my issue with that fight. Like I said, the fight itself was fine. It was the after the fight where you go into like the fisticuffs, and I'm just thinking like the way they choreographed it and edited it, it's like he would punch and then it would skip to you getting hit, right? So you see it and you're just like, oh, he punched me, because that's just how that works, right? Mm-hmm. It's like movie magic, but with the video game.
Yeah.
But it's like you never actually get punched, just like you never actually punch him, and that just kind of threw me off.
Now that you say something, right? Now that you say something, you were a paladin, right?
Yeah.
So like, what happened to your weapons?
While we were fighting, the weapons just got knocked off. Right? Like, he just knocked off my sword and my shield somehow.
No, like, did it actually show the animation of your sword?
I don't remember it, to be honest. I had to go back and look at the cutscene, but somehow I lost my sword and shield, and we ended up just brawling.
Here's the thing, right?
Outside of that, well, go ahead and finish that, because I want to get into another point.
Okay, but here's the thing, right? I'm playing as a monk. Now, when you have the class weapons, right? They're just your gloves. Mm-hmm. So I'm punching him with my weapons, actually, in the cutscene. So it didn't really think to me, but now I'm thinking about like, I'm punching him with my weapons. Why is he like not getting killed?
yeah, and I mean, if you were just like, oh, I'm a mage, and now you go on to punching, like, it's like, well, I'm not really made to be punching stuff. I was like, I'm not a warrior. I'm not just over here just punching people, even though I have a weapon.
God, dog.
But yeah, that threw me off. And then another thing was, I feel like the whole Xenos thing was just like, I feel like it was put in there to avert expectations, because it's like you this whole thing plays up like Xenos the big bad, and then Zodiac is the big bad, and Hermes I forget his actual name, whatever.
Amon?
Fandango, or whatever his name was.
Fandaniel?
Yeah. So those three are like the big bad,
and it's
herrings,
like, yeah.
It's like, okay, actually, it's neither of those. It's a new character we randomly threw in there, which I like that, but at the same time, I feel like it kind of diminishes Xenos' impact. It's like this whole thing isn't building up with Xenos. He's over here, like, destroying Garlemald because he's mad and he wants to fight. He ended up getting his body back, and he's just like, I need to find a weapon. He ended up changing class. Like, all this stuff happens with Xenos, right? Mm-hmm. And you're just like, oh man, this fight with Xenos in Endwalker is going to be amazing. All this build up for him, and then in Endwalker, y'all don't really fight. It's like y'all run into each other multiple times. You don't really fight, and then it turns out he's not really the big bad, and then towards the end, he comes to help you beat the big bad, just so he can get a fight at the end. Like, I just feel like it's just really wasted potential, man.
Yeah, I want to say the same thing, that Xenos was a little bit like wasted potential. The whole entire, like, when I first went into Endwalker, I thought he was going to be somehow like possessed by like a thrall of some Ashian or some shit like that. Like that's what I thought it was going to be, right? And he's going to be eventually the biggest bad. But like he was going to be the one to get Zodiac's power, and
be like, you know, a fusion of him and Zodiac.
Oh, yeah, it would make sense. I mean, he was thinking about that. But the thing is that like Xenos was pretty much a shadow of us, right? Because all he cared, like, it's weird because all he cared about was fighting us, right? If all he cared about was fighting us, like, why was he with Fan Daniel causing so much havoc?
Right.
Like, it's like because I guess he was promised power to defeat. I think that's what it was. I think Xenos was trying to find power to defeat the Warrior of Light and went with what's his name plan, Fan Daniel plan, but that plan failed, and so he was looking for more power. And what he noticed is that, you know what, maybe I can't find that more power. So what I have to do is just, I guess, fight him anyway with the stuff I have, possibly because he did get not a sit down talk, but he got a talk with the Scions, right?
Right.
It's like without the Warrior of Light, what are you? Type of thing.
Yeah. Alizé was pretty much told his ass off.
Yeah. So yeah, like it was waste of potential, but I did like the fight mainly because I talked about this in the last podcast where they should stop spoon feeding us. They should really stop spoon feeding us, and in that fight they don't spoon feed you. Like, there's this one AoE I got hit because I was confused what's going to happen, and you get hit before you even know what happened. It's like, oh shit, okay, I should telegraph that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, like, this is good. This is what I want, right? Maybe there's some people that's still trying to figure out how to complete that fight. I don't know. But yeah, that's I want to say that's pretty much it of Endwalker. Then we also have the raids. We don't really know about the raids yet. We'll talk about that in a later date. But overall, if I were to have make a rating of Endwalker, I will say it's a really good, I guess, like 7 out of 10. Like don't get me wrong, I really like Endwalkers more than the other ones, but to me, what really broke it for me was just the time stuff, and like also like the whole lore after that, I guess, was a little bit not unnerving, but it was. I guess it's just part of time. I guess it's the time thing that really was like fucky wucky with me.
Fucky wucky. All right, we're using our big words now.
Well, like the time thing is just. I hate time things, and like I even hated Endwalker. You know, not Endwalker. Endgame. I just.
Yeah, it's just messy, and
you make mistakes.
It's one of those things where usually it's used in comics when the writer has written themselves into a corner. Then they're just like, time travel.
Yeah.
And it's just like no. Like, no. You're just gonna cause a whole bunch of other problems by implementing time travel to the story.
Yeah. Especially in after this too.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like in game. I mean, honestly, a lot of these things, even in game, Kingdom Hearts, or even Endwalker, this time travel stuff is implemented into these stories, but it's not to finish up. It's to finish up certain things, but you've also left little branches here and there for you to continue to do more content. So it's just like, as soon as Kingdom Hearts implemented time travel, it's like, oh, you've caused a bunch of little branches of stories here and there, and now you can make little games off those little stories here and there. And then the same thing for in game, they go back in time, and you had the whole Loki who left with the cube, or was it the cube, or was it one of the stones? I can't remember.
Cube.
He left with the cube, and all these branching timelines, and like that was kind of left open ended in game, and it's just like, well, yeah, it was left open ended for a reason. And the same thing goes here with Endwalker. A lot of these things have been left open ended. I feel like they kind of just want to hear everybody's, oh, well, they forgot about this, or oh, they forgot about this, and then it's just like, we're feeding them content by reacting and saying what was forgotten, and then they go back and they add more content for you to consume, pretty much. But yeah, Endwalker, I loved it. It was great. Honestly, I have to say Emmett Silk is my favorite character of all time in this game.
Yeah.
Over anybody. Like I know I think one person, I think it was Mayix, who thought that my favorite character was Estinian because he was a dragoon.
What?
And I was just like, no.
That's classist. That's classist, man.
It was like, no. Okay, Estinian, I liked him before. Estinian now, I don't like him as much, because before he was mysterious, he was kind of doing his own thing while the Warrior Lights and the Scions were doing their own things. Once he joined the Scions, and they put him in a lot of positions where he's out of his element, and he just looks like a goof.
I think it's Endwalker. I think it's just Endwalker within itself, because Endwalker that's another thing. There's a lot of goofy parts that just it makes the tension stale.
Right.
Like especially when Estinian was first time in Thavnir, and they say, "Oh, is that blood on your weapon? Oh, we must probe it for more." I don't know, like we want to probe it or some shit. That's like
want the juice.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just Estinian reacting to stuff, and that what makes it goofy is because, Estinian is more of a mysterious and try to not be within within conversations as much. But yeah. But you have anything else? I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
For, Endwalker.
I loved Alphino. Alphino is probably my second favorite character in this game now. Alphino is fucking amazing. My boy has grown so much. Like the whole him showing, well, him and Alizé pretty much showing up, their father, and it felt so good to watch them freaking show him off. I was just like, yes, let's go, my boys. Y'all doing good. I mean, boys and girls. Anyways,
yeah,
Alphino is my second favorite character now.
Yeah, because me it will be like MXL then Alizé. I like Alizé because I like her temper tantrum sometimes because she show feeling on towards the Warrior Light at certain points, like especially when they both sacrificed themselves. She didn't want to say goodbye to him, to like the Warrior Light. It's like, well, if you're going to do this, let's do this quickly. And of course she's like, broken.
The tsundere.
Yeah, actually, yeah, she is.
Yeah, a bit of a tsundere. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Endwalker, I liked it. I can't really gauge it. I mean, if I had to compare it to the other expansions, just because of the stories, like the dungeons, right? The dungeons and the trials were like all of them, all the way up until you get to like the level 90 and the unlocked dungeons, which I'm not gonna talk about. But all the dungeons before you get to those two felt like they had a meaning. They had a purpose. It didn't feel like, oh, we're just going in here because reasons. And like we're chasing somebody or something. We go through it. Like it all felt like it was meaningful. Like every dungeon, all the bosses. Well, I'll say the last bosses.
Yeah, the
were
last
really
bosses.
good.
Yeah.
For all of the dungeons, and I just really liked it. And I don't think I felt that in any other expansion. I think a little bit in Shadowbringers, but like the other ones, like if I go back and do those dungeons, I don't even remember why I went in there. I feel like these dungeons, if I come back to them later, I will remember, oh yeah, this is why we went into this dungeon. And I was like, I remember the first time going into this dungeon because, you know, so and so we had to go save Elephant Woman and you know stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I have to say, if I had to rate the expansions, Endwalker will probably be number one for me. Then Shadowbringer.
Yeah.
Then Heaven's War. Then Stormblood, and then Realm Reborn at the end.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I think everyone agreed that Stormblood is not that great.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't like Stormblood too much. I'm sorry, Stormblood.
Yeah, they did my monk bad. The warrior light switched the monk to samurai.
Yeah, Kagane's a cool area though. It's a cool like hub world.
That was a bitch ass move.
Alright, well I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we're done.
Yeah, 2 hours and 11 minutes. That's another record.
Yeah, you're gonna love editing this video.
Jesus Christ. Well, let's not say anymore. Let's say our goodbyes. Make sure you like and subscribe. Merry Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas. It is actually we're past midnight. So yeah, it's actually Christmas right now. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Chrysler. All right.
Happy New Year's.
We'll do that in another video. Okay, no, let's. All right, bye.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Such devastation. This was not my intention.